drowning when I know I could swim. If you love me, baby, say it with your chest. Yeah, tired of the maybes, I just want a yes. Don't play me like a song on spin. If you ride for me, then ride to the end. Don't wanna love this paper thin. So why you always halfway in? Halfway in. Why you always halfway in? Go be drowning when I know I could swim. If you love me, baby, say it with your chest. Yeah, tired of the maybes, I just want a yes. Don't play me like a song on spin. If you ride for me,
Talia,
Hai, asante.
hebu na stream hii video yangu live, hebu niangalie inatokelezeaje.
Yes.
go be second guessing what I already know. I give you love, but you ration yours. But you ration
YouTube.
yours. You open up just to close it.
Hiyo ni uniform like ile iko pale mwisho. Mhm. Ile there's that blue. Yeah, yeah. This one.
Inakuonesha niko
Hiyo
live.
iko mbele yake. Na this one has a purple undertone.
Mm. Mm. Nimeweka video in loop. Loop for
22 by 22.
si ndio nimefanya research. Everything is just against me paying. Because wanasema hata wale wamelipia wanasema if you pay inarusha hiyo yenye ume support, alafu ukiupload ingine. So afadhali tu, alafu YouTube hata yenyewe inakuambia whatever views unapata kwa hiyo paid whatever, I count siku ile utakuwa monetized. They don't count those views. So the best thing is just grow organically. Inaitwa organically.
So kuna kitu inakaa mnyama. Imeenda.
But unajua video huoneshwa video. Actually mi kama watu wa US ndio wananiona wengi kushinda hata hapa. Si unaangalia analytics, kuna Kenya na kuna na hiyo US pia inadependa kwa which state. Miami, huko ni ya kusnoigi. Yeah. Acha ni try nataka tu nione ikiisha kama itarudia tena ama ni. Thanks.
chest. Yeah, tired of the pull me close. I read your silence louder than most. One day you're warm, the next day you're cold. Got me second guessing what I already know. I give you love, but you ration yours. You open up just to close the door, just to close the door. I stay up late. If you ride for me, then ride to the end. Don't wanna love this paper thin. So why you always halfway in? Halfway in. You hit me up when the nights get slow, but then disappear when the highs get low. I ain't the baby. Tell me what it is, 'cause I'm way too close. Baby, I give you love, but you rushing your open up just to close the door.
Replaced and left the interior house because when you get to the sunroom, it's all panels and wood.
If you love me, baby, say it with your chest. Yeah, tired of the maybes, I just want yes. Don't play me like a song on spin. If you ride for me, then ride to the end. Don't wanna love this paper thin. So why you
great friend of mine. She had it for about a year before she asked me and our design firm to get involved. It was a beautiful 100-year-old house.
If you ride for me, ride to the end. Don't wanna love this play by friend. So why you always
Jambo. Hi. Asante. Yes, Papa.
Yeah, Mama. The next day you call, got me second guessing what I already know. I give you love, but you ration yours, You open up just to close the
Hiyo ni uniform like. Ile iko pale mwisho. Unaona? Ile there's that blue unaona. Yeah. This one. Unaona? Hiyo iko mbele yake. Hiyo kivuyo. Iko na this one has a purple undertones. Ndio. Ndio wako vile na kuandika tu shiny. Hii iko na undertone ya green.
Taleshika nini hii kadi yako? Hii kadi yako hii.
Hiyo ni ya kiti. 22 by 22. Sasa mimi niko na specific size. This is also some work. This one iko sawa. That one is naka
Kwa kichwa. Inaitwa hizi ndevu.
niweze ku
Hii kadi. Hii iko kwa yake kwangu. Basi mkononi.
so hakuna kitu naka mnyama
Wajini ilikuwa inakaa mnyama.
imeenda. Na gray, brown and
Kuna gray.
That's quite pretty.
Yadi text.
Imagine I have 2 people watching already. Hii like ni yako ama ni ya mtu mwingine? Si wewe uko online, wewe uview.
Okay.
Mom.
Yes.
They do it.
Ziko rough sana but
But your love will move, change all the time. Change all the time. Why you always halfway in? Got me drowning when I know I could swim. If you love me, baby, say it with your chest. Yeah, tired of the maybes, I just say yes. Don't play me like a song on spin. If you ride for me, then ride to the end. Don't wanna love this paper thin. So why you always halfway in? Halfway in. You hit me up when the nights get slow, but then disappear when the highs get low. I ain't your maybe. Tell me what it is. Cause I'm way too grown to be messing with a love like this. I give you love, but you're rushing yours. But you're rushing yours. You open up just to close the door. You stay closing doors. I stay up late, trying to read your mind. I can't read your mind. But your love moves, I change all the time. Changing all the time. Why you always halfway in? Got me drowning when I know I could swim. If you love me, baby, say it with your chest. Yeah, tired of the maybes, I just say yes. Don't play me like a song on spin. If you ride for me, then ride to the end. Don't wanna love this paper thin. So why you always halfway in? Halfway in. Why you always halfway in? Got me drowning when I know I could swim. If you love me, baby, say it with your chest. Yeah, tired of the maybes. We close. I read your silence louder than most. One day you're warm, the next day you're cold. Got me second guessing what I already know. I give you love, but you ration yours. But you ration yours. You open up just to close the door. Just to close the door. I stay up late. If you ride for me, then ride to the end. Don't wanna love this paper thin. So why you always halfway in? Halfway in. You hit me up when the nights get slow, but then disappear when the highs get low. I ain't your maybe. Tell me what it is. Just to close the door. You stay closing doors. I stay up late, trying to read your mind. I can't read your mind. But your love moves, I change all the time. Changing all the time. Why you always halfway in? Don't be drowning when I know I could swim. If you love me, baby, say it with your chest. Yeah, tired of the maybes, I just say yes. Don't play me like a song on spin. If you ride for me, then ride to the end. Don't wanna love this paper thin. So why you always halfway in? me, baby, say it with your chest. Yeah, tired of the maybes, I just want a yes. Don't play me like a song on spin. If you write for me,
Jambo. Hai. Asante. Yes.
Leo umemalizana na hiyo live yako? Alafu lale saa nane.
Hiyo ni uniform like.
Ile nakuamsha saa nne nituamshe class.
By 22. Sasa mimi niko na 55. This is also some. This one iko sawa hii.
Kwa picha. Zinaitwa hizi ndio.
Niweze ku So hakuna kitu inakaa mnyama.
Lakini ilikuwa inakaa mnyama.
Imeenda. Grey, brown and
Grey.
Umefunga kwa hizi milango zote? Everything is secure.
okay.
Mom. They doing?
Hi, my name's Selena. Welcome to my garden. We're actually standing in the entryway to my romantic space back here, and it's one of my favorite places to be.
Ziko rough sana but
favorite places to be in my home. This is my romantic Eden rose, and I love this one because it has really big, chubby roses. They just drip over this archway, and this rose actually went in the ground before the archway itself did. When I first bought this house, it was all invasive English ivy, and I ripped it out and took it down to nothing. This space has really come a long way over the years. And this rose I put in the ground, and then I built the arbor around it. It was always my dream to have this rose. I'm a huge lover of romance and everything feminine and frilly, and I think the Eden rose really speaks to that. And I just wanted to have this warm, welcoming rose that really pulls you into my space. Over on this side of the arbor, I tried to find another rose that would be complementary. So this is a Colette rose. It's a little bit smaller, a little bit petite, and it kind of has that spray type of look. I love a spray rose because you get multiple blooms on one little stem. It's kind of like you can pick a cute little bouquet. But this one, I actually moved from a couple of different homes. So whenever I moved homes, the hardest thing for me is not moving the home itself. It's actually like moving the plants and the roses in the garden. So this rose came with me, and I got this for my 30th birthday before I even knew anything about roses. I just thought it was so beautiful, and of course I love that beautiful soft color. This side of the garden is west facing, so it gets hot in the afternoon. My roses love this area. All of these roses were a gift from my mom. She bought all of these roses at a nursery auction. We didn't know what anything was. They were all these giant root balls, really, really old roses. They looked all gnarly and gross. And we ended up picking them up for $2 a rose. Everyone thought my mom was crazy for buying these ugly things, but she's told me that roses are very hardy, and I think that's something that a lot of people forget. People tend to think the roses are delicate, but they're actually very, very hardy, and if you nurture them and give them some love, they'll come back beautifully like these ones did. This one up front here is a Tropicana rose, and this is one of my very favorites because of the color. It's like this beautiful blue neon coral color, and it smells fruity. So like the Tropicana name and the scent that goes with it is like the perfect pairing, and I get so many blooms out of it. I can literally smell it from here where I'm standing. I just love this one. Roses always need good friends, and in between all of mine, I poked in some Shasta daisies. They are heat-loving flowers as well, and they're just a really nice neutral to really let my roses pop. All right, let's go over to the patio and see all of my beautiful roses. As we come through the gate here, this is my Cinco de Mayo rose. I love this one because the petals are really beautiful and ruffly, like the pretty Mexican skirts. And the color is just phenomenal. But I have to tell you, we kind of had a heat wave, and it's been in the 90s. So some of the roses are struggling a little bit, but I've still got some beautiful color out here. Now we're in my rose space right along the patio here, and I love this one. This is called the Soft Whisper. It has this really beautiful vanilla colored petal that fades through gentle and pink as it opens. It's just so pretty and delicate. It's a fun one. And then in front, I love the story of this rose. I don't know who would throw away a rose, but someone in my mom's neighborhood did. And so she saved this rose for me, and I planted this in the dirt last year. It was just this tiny little twig of a plant, and I put some soil around it. It's really good fertilizer, and now like she is so happy here with me in her new home. Give your plants some love, they're gonna give it back to you, and this is such a good example of that. And this is a spray rose. I don't know what variety it is, but there was no way that I was gonna say no to a free rose. But I love this because as soon as this all opens, all these little tiny little buds will open. It's just going to be this beautiful bouquet here all on one stem. Such a pretty rose. Way down low here, this is not a miniature rose, but this is a new rose to my garden. This is called an Earth Angel, and if you're looking for a really fragrant rose for your garden, especially one to maybe cut flowers and bouquets with, this is the rose for you. This is the kind of rose that if you cut them and put them in your living room, it will just fill up your room with this beautiful, really sweet fragrance. It's incredibly elegant and beautiful. Down low here, this is called Dusty Miller. It's a really great rose companion. It's a perennial, so it comes back every year, but I love the contrast of kind of like the frosty, soft leaves next to the dark greenery of the roses. I think they really complement each other really well. They can be friends in your garden too. So So I may have maxed out capacity here in my garden, but I have to tell you, I definitely want another earth angel. That rose is so beautiful and it smells incredible. I need more. Thank you so much for visiting my garden today. I hope I inspired you in your gardening season ahead and wish you the best.
Yes.
Here, Mama.
Got me second guessing what I already know. I give you love, but you ration you open up just to close it.
Hiyo ni uniform like.
Ile iko pale mwisho. Mhm. Ile blue. Yeah, yeah. This one. Yes,
I don't think anyone is ever truly prepared for what it's like to live with two dogs weighing nearly 200 pounds each, especially when they walk into your home and act like they're the real owners of the place. But that's exactly what happened to Claire. At the time, Claire was living alone in a small apartment nearly 300 miles away from her hometown. Her life revolved around work and days that felt repetitive to the point of boredom. The thing she looked forward to most each week was visiting the animal shelter, feeding the dogs, cleaning their kennels, taking them for walks after work. Then one day Claire met two very special mastiffs, a black female dog named Dennis and a giant tan-colored male dog named Dex. They had come from a terrible breeding facility and had spent nearly their entire lives confined to cramped cages.
Say, may I help you? Like,
What caught Claire's attention wasn't their incredible size. It was the way they were always searching for each other. After everything they had been through, it seemed like each of them saw the other as the only place where they truly felt safe. Claire realized that if she was going to adopt them, she had to take both of them together. And she did exactly that. Her friends thought it was a crazy idea. Two giant dogs, a tiny apartment.
So hakuna kitu
a food
inakaa
bill that
mnyama
Claire
mnyama.
wasn't easy to handle.
wajini
Claire
ilikuwa inakaa
took care
mnyama.
of
Imeenda.
separating them. So Ennis and Dex came home. And from that moment on, life became more crowded, louder, and a whole lot happier.
Gray, brown, and
Then one day, Claire lost her job. Her savings slowly ran out, and eventually she decided to move back in with her parents. The interesting part, she didn't tell them in advance. That night when the door opened, her mom was completely speechless. Standing there was Claire, and behind her were two massive creatures that looked more like miniature horses than dogs. Her dad stared at them for a few seconds before asking, "Are those dogs or horses?" Claire could only laugh. The first few days weren't easy. Her parents weren't happy about it. Ennis and Dex had no idea what was going on. All they knew was that they suddenly had a new home, and in their minds, every chair in the house was clearly made for dogs to lie on. Every family member existed to pet them. And every empty spot on the couch absolutely needed to be filled by a nearly 200-pound mastiff. But then something familiar happened. Little by little, everyone's hearts began to soften. Claire's mom started spending more time sitting beside Ennis each day. Her dad secretly began sneaking treats to Dex. The evenings, once so quiet, suddenly filled with the sound of paws running across the floor, heavy breathing, and unexpected bursts of laughter. The house felt more alive than it had in years.
Mom.
What made it even more meaningful was that Claire once believed she was the one rescuing these two dogs. But as time went on, she started to feel like maybe it had happened the other way around. Ennis and Dex didn't just find a family. They brought that family closer together. They brought laughter back into a home that had been far too quiet for many years. And they reminded everyone that sometimes the best things enter our lives without any warning. Sometimes they simply show up at your front door with 4 legs, a heart full of love, and nearly 200 pounds of pure presence.
Thanks for watching till the end. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest videos. See you in the next one.
Join Boulevard for only 280 shillings a month and enjoy free deliveries and discounts on food groceries. 5 kinds of people God tells you to answer with silence. Silence. A fire does not keep burning because it is angry. It keeps burning because someone keeps feeding it. And sometimes a conversation is the same way. There are arguments that only stay alive because you keep adding words. One more explanation, one more defense, one more message, one more attempt to prove that your heart was right. But the more you speak, the larger the fire becomes. Not because your words are wrong, but because the person in front of you is not trying to understand. They are only looking for more wood. That is why there are moments when the wisest thing you can say is nothing at all. Not because you are weak, not because you are afraid, not because you do not have an answer, but because you have learned that peace is too valuable to throw into every fire someone else starts. The Bible never teaches us to be rude, cold, or careless with people. God calls us to speak the truth in love. He calls us to forgive, to listen, to be patient, and to answer with grace. But the same Bible also teaches that not every conversation deserves your voice. Not every question is asked with a humble heart. Not every criticism is meant to help you grow. And not every person who demands an explanation is truly seeking understanding. Jesus himself knew when to speak, and he also knew when to remain silent. His silence was not emptiness, it was strength under control. It was wisdom refusing to be trapped. It was peace refusing to be ruled by pressure. And maybe that is something God is teaching you right now. You do not have to answer every person who misunderstands you. You do not have to defend yourself in every room where your name is mentioned. You do not have to explain your heart to people who are committed to twisting your words. Sometimes silence is not avoidance. Sometimes silence is obedience. So in this message, we are going to look at 5 kinds of people God may be teaching you to answer with silence. Not so you can become distant or proud, but so you can become wise, peaceful, and free. Part 1. People who want to win, not understand. There are conversations where you can feel it before the first sentence is finished. The person is not really listening. Their ears are open, but their heart has already left the room. They ask a question, but it is not a question. It is a trap with a question mark at the end. You begin to explain. You try to be calm. You say, "That is not what I meant." Before you can finish, they are preparing the next accusation. You answer one thing, and they move to another. You clear up one misunderstanding, and they bring up something from 5 years ago. Suddenly, you realize you are not in a conversation. You are in a contest you never agreed to enter. That kind of person does not want understanding. They want victory. This is where many sincere believers get tired. Because you love peace, you keep explaining. Because you value truth, you keep trying to make things clear. Because you do not want to seem proud, you keep answering every twist. But after a while, your spirit feels drained. Your words are many, but there is no fruit. Jesus met people like this. The Pharisees often came to him with questions that sounded spiritual. Should we pay taxes to Caesar? By what authority do you do these things? Is it lawful to heal on the Sabbath? But many times, they were not asking to learn. They were asking to catch him. Jesus never lost himself in their game. Sometimes he answered with a question, and sometimes he refused to feed the argument, because he knew the heart in front of him. Some of you have spent years explaining your heart to someone committed to misunderstanding it. A family member says, "I just want to talk," but never lets you finish. A coworker asks for your side, then repeats the part that makes you look bad. Every time you answer, it feels like throwing wood into the fire. Beloved, you do not have to keep proving the truth to someone who is not willing to receive it. A humble person may ask hard questions, but they leave room for honesty. A prideful person uses your answer as material for the next attack. Silence. In that